Welcome, everybody. My name is Sia, and I'm the curator with MoCDA. Today, we are speaking with Mahima Chaudhury for our 10 questions in 10 minutes collaboration with SuperRare. Welcome, Mahima. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Yeah, of course. So as a little bit of background, Mahima is a British South Asian artist known for her delicate and personal artworks. She's a fashion photography student in her third year at London Metropolitan University and originally debuted in the arts industry as a photographer. So yeah, like I said, thank you so much for joining us. Really excited to have you here. And if you're ready, we can just hop into the first question. So,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. First question for you. Each of your artworks feels like such a personal revelation. Do you draw moments of inspiration from your own life?
Yeah, I definitely do. But I also take a lot of inspiration from my dreams. So I lucid dream quite heavily, and it's always very atmospheric. So I try to incorporate that into my artwork a lot. In terms of the architecture and stuff, I try to build like dreamlike spaces. So yeah, it's an inspiration from my reality and also like my dream world.
No, that's kind of amazing. So do you like teach yourself how to lucid dream, or is this like a skill that you kind of always had in the background?
Yeah, no, since I was young, it just because it used to be nightmares, and then I kind of learned how to like control like my dreams, so just got better over time.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's a good progression to make it a little bit like towards the better end of dreaming. So next question for you. Many of your artworks feel very textured, almost like they're a traditional medium, like paint or pencil, instead of a purely digital one. Why is retaining that texture so important to you?
I think with traditional artwork, I always felt like a deeper connection to things that I could feel and touch. However, traditional art still leaves very little room for like error, so that's why I work digitally. But I try to retain the texture of traditional art because I feel like you can develop a deeper connection with the work, if that makes sense. It makes it feel more real, kind of thing.
Yeah, more like physically connected to it instead of it just being like an intellectual kind of like exercise.
Yeah, exactly. So I prefer the process of digital art making, but I like to still retain a little bit of texture so that you can, you know, feel something when you look at the art.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Next question for you. One consistent theme of your art practice seems to be the construction of worlds or spaces that almost feel like retreats from the mundanity of life. Are each one of these spaces like a separate place, or are there any elements that tie these imaginary spaces together?
I think that within each of my artworks, I try to incorporate like a different atmosphere because every time I make a piece of art, I'm feeling a different type of way. So it's like each environment that I make, it's a place that I can go back to whenever I'm feeling that same emotion again. So like connection is between atmosphere and emotion rather than like every single art piece as a whole. If you kind of see it like you're jumping from realm to realm, like depending on whatever emotion you're feeling, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, almost like rooms in a dream, almost like you're wandering through a house and each one of them is like their own kind of contained universe, but they're all very different. So
Exactly, just like that, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Fourth question for you. Could you explain a little bit about the imagery from Souvenirs from My Dreams?
Yeah, so with that piece, I kind of like wanted to make the title as self-explanatory as possible, just so that I can like initiate the narrative that I was trying to, like go for. So basically, the concept is that you go kind of like dream wandering, and with whatever dream you're in at the moment, you like collect a memento, and you bring it back to your reality with you, so that there's something to like look back on, kind of thing. Yeah.
Are these all on the wall like souvenirs from dreams that you've had previously?
Yeah, well, some of them are, not all of them. Some are just like simply because they look aesthetically pleasing.
Sure.
But, yeah, no. So, like for example, the the fairy in the fishbowl that you can see is supposed to be like a kind of other version of herself, like the character's self within the image from a different like dreamland. So within every single dream, like you're a different version of yourself, and it's like you take that part of you and you bring it back to your reality so that you can remember yourself as what you were then.
Yeah, absolutely. Like almost a journey with each individual
Exactly.
dream. Yeah. Next question. Your work, Stop Self-Destructing Idiot, it comes with text that details someone finding empowerment and living for themselves instead of for a toxic relationship. What is it to you to be empowered, and how do you try to find empowerment in your daily life?
So that poem that's alongside the art piece was actually written in 2017, and it was about empowerment as the poem progresses. So at the start of the poem, like it's basically about a friend who is in an extremely toxic relationship, and she kind of lost her sense of self. And then as she as the like horribleness grew, she kind of realized that she needed to like cut this person out of her life, and that was the only way she was going to be free. And
Yeah.
she finally did it, and she healed, and it was beautiful. So I think like to find empowerment is to like set yourself free, not just from other people but from your own subconscious as well, because it's really easy to feel like trapped inside of your own head. But as soon as you give yourself the freedom to like explore whatever possibilities you want to explore, then you're free. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like such an easy concept to like think about, but it's like so hard to put into daily life. But it's like one of the most important things I think we can try to do, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think yeah, like it all boils down to self-belief, because if you have like if you believe in yourself strongly enough, then you are free. You're free from like everybody else's opinions, like your own judgment. You just feel free, and it's empowering.
Yeah, no, definitely. Next question for you. What is it about NFTs and the crypto art community that drew you in?
Honestly, I started seeing all of these artists who I followed be rewarded for their artwork and for all the like dedication and hard work they put into their like put into their crafts. And I think that that's what really drew me in, that there was a space out there that allowed individuals to have complete creative control and still like earn a living. So that's initially what drew me into like the crypto scene. And then yeah, from there things progressed, and like that. Yeah. Yeah, so from there things just progressed, and it became kind of like something that I looked up to, not just the artists but like even the collectors who were supporting the crypto.
Sure.
It just seemed like everyone believed in everyone within the space, and there was an opportunity for everyone to like grow and progress. Not to say that it's a perfect space, right? We've still got our problems, but you know, progress.
But it definitely feels a little bit more individual than like being part of this like huge monolithic gallery or something like that you don't have enough like creative control or freedom over. But yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. So next question for you. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned as a young artist?
I think it would boil back down to self-belief. That like if you're dedicated and you stay true to your art and you keep everything authentic and you don't try to be somebody that you're not, then your art's going to speak for itself, and literally everything else will come afterwards. Like the recognition, the money, it's all going to come out afterwards. But once people like see your art for who you are and they feel a sense of you within the art piece, they're just bound to be attracted to it, you know?
Yeah. Authenticity, even.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there a concept you'd like to explore further in your art?
Honestly, I'm really liking the architectural stuff I'm doing right now. Like I have no background in architecture, so I have a lot more to learn. But I do want to be exploring more perspectives, and yeah, that's something I would like to progress on. And I also want to like delve into like abstract art more, because I did it when I was younger, but like the most abstract piece I've done the most abstract art that I probably do is like the backgrounds to my images,
Sure.
like the backgrounds to my illustrations rather than the illustrations themselves. So yeah, I want to do more abstract art.
Kind of finding a way to like marry the background and the foreground now in like a more abstract way. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Next question. What is something you've kept with you from the beginning of your art practice?
I would say there's maybe two things. There would be my photography, because I did start off as a photographer. So I tried to incorporate like some level of photography within all of my works, just really hidden in plain sight kind of thing. It will even look like illustration sometimes, but it would have been a photograph that I like shot. Or like maybe the poetry, because like every NFT that I tokenize, I write a little kind of short little poem for every single one, just so that the like viewer can have some insight into the like narrative of my piece.
Yeah.
Just to assist the narrative a little bit, because my artwork is open to interpretation, but there's also like my interpretation of my art, and I kind of like people to know what that is. So yeah, maybe the poetry.
For sure. And final question for you, what's next?
I think I'm going to be continuing with crypto and just see how much I can give to crypto and how much I can take out of crypto, just like whatever comes my way, I'll take it. And I'm starting up a tote bag business actually with my
exciting.
So what the business plan set, we just need to set things in motion. But they're also artists. So one's an embroiderer, and then I've got like another graphic designer working with me, and we're gonna developing tote bags with our artwork printed on them. So I think that's exciting.
Yeah, that sounds super cool.
Yeah, and we're going to be focusing mainly on like people of color, so like people in the Black and brown communities, and we're going to be trying to we're going to be reaching out to other people, see if they want to like have their work printed and stuff as well. Just try and like support the community a little bit, because obviously like being a minority myself, I just want to help as much as I can, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited to hear more about that as that like develops. So. But yeah, I mean, that was all my questions. So thank you so much for joining us. It was really lovely to have you on.
Oh, you're welcome. It was really lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, thank you everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys' support. So see you here next time for 10 questions in 10 minutes.